Alrighty, and we are live. Alright, so we're going to be playing something a little bit different this time. We're going to be playing Cultist Simulator. And now that I think about it, I actually need to add it to the scene here. Once again, I failed to be ready for my stream. Oof. There we go. Now let's move that to the bottom here. Alrighty. So we are now in game in Cultist Simulator. So this game's a bit different. It is a card game in which you are a member of society who is slowly going insane, and you have to build a cult and ascend to a greater I guess either like a greater plane of existence or a greater form or knowledge, something along those lines. But I really enjoy this game. I've got over 170 hours in it, and it's really fun. It's really fun, and it's worth checking out at least once. They recently added some DLC in which you can play as a ghoul, which you can like eat the dead, or you can start off as like a pastor and gather your congregation into your cult essentially. So it's really cool. There's different things. You can start off as just average Joe Schmo working a normal business, working I think for a newspaper editor is what you're doing. You can do that. You can be a doctor, or you can be a rich like brat who's had everything handed to him, and eventually you got to figure out how to do it on your own. You can also start off as a dancer, which is one of the other DLCs that was added recently. And that one's pretty fun. I've only touched on that one, but we're actually going to be starting a new game here. This game might not be for everybody, but it's I found it really relaxing, and you can just kind of sit and play it for a long time. So we are an aspirant. We start a new game, so it starts you off as the default class. Alone in this chilly city with my useless education and my dreams. What now? Could I become something more? So then you press spacebar to pause it. S, N, and M for normal speed, M for fast forward, spacebar to pause it. So this here is your work verb, I believe is what they're called. So each verb does something different. The work one here, you can use these at the bottom to gain employment and do something with that. Alright, sorry about that. Daughter's not going to bed on time like she should be. Old punk. Uh-oh, what happened? Alright. Closed my game on accident. Alright, so this is menial employment, a precarious position as a hospital porter. Okay, so I was wrong about the newspaper job. Miserable, but it's all you can find just for now. So we go ahead and drag that over there. Another shift, mopping the darkened hallways, delivering posts to hollow-eyed individuals, trundling corpse-laden gurneys to the basement. S to start. That'll run for 10 seconds. And that's our job. Alright, so that'll break off into this one here. I'm going to drag these around. So, halfway through your shift, the head porter beckons you aside. We won't require your services any longer, he says here. Your last payment. We've paid you through the end of the month. Okay, so we get C to collect, but you can click on them to see what they are. So 2 funds and a health. we'll go ahead and drag this up here. So these are our basic ones here. Health, you need health to survive. We'll get the rest as we go along. So we don't have work anymore. We can put our health into there and do labor, like hard work essentially. You can't put funds in there because you can't pay money to get a job type thing. It's interesting. But we're going to go ahead and start and do that. That takes 60 seconds, and while that runs, we'll generate money when it ends. So while that's going, this thinking cloud here popped up, and it represents your dreams. So once again, I dream of a glow beneath the filthy skin of the world, the light through the black wood, the pale door, the old man. So our character's dreaming about stuff. He's having strange dreams. This kind of fits the theme of this game. Alright, so that one's done. So we get contentment, just happiness, essentially. It began when I spoke to the old man in the hospital. He knew my name, but he's dead now. The pneumonia. Why do I dream of him still? What is this cobalt light in my dreams? And we get passion. Passion's going to be one of our main ones here. As you can see, now we have 1 health and 1 passion at the bottom. And actually, I'm going to move my camera aside so that you guys can see that. I'll set right on top here. So these along the bottom here is health, passion, that's going to be reason, and that's our money. So now we got this light bulb, a change in the air. I need funds to live, which is the gold. But perhaps this recent upset in my circumstance is a secret blessing. Is there something to my dreams? There's a change in the air. So this is just the very beginning of the game. We'll learn more as the game goes along, what these all represent. Alright. Unskilled labor, so we went to work. So now that health that we had is fatigued, so it can't be used for a minute. It gave us this vitality, which is 180 seconds, so 3 minutes. We can use this with another vitality to improve our abilities. So if we get 2 of these vitalities, combine them, it'll make us an additional health, so we'll have 2 of them. And we got money for working. So you may have noticed that this one appeared as well. This one is time passes. So essentially, as the game goes on, it represents time literally passing. I'm going to move the chat over here too, so it looks a little better. There we go. So basically what that means is the day goes on, the week goes on, so on and so forth. We can get sick if we don't have any funds. We can go without food, so on and so forth. We can get something called restlessness, which we'll figure that out here in a few minutes. So that takes our money every so often. Again, I like to play it in fast forward because otherwise it seems to go by really slow. So you notice our contentment went away there. Essentially what the contentment is to combat other things in the future, which I'll show you those once we get to it. But this is more one of those games that you can sit and you can kind of just relax and play for hours and hours. I know that's what I did. Alright, so the light bulb there, the old man has bequeathed me a sum of money. So that guy from the hospital, the one that was chatting us up, gave us a lot of money and a packet of peculiar papers, poetry, riddles, metaphysical speculations. For the first time in months, here's some fuel for my reason. So we got 9 funds. So we'll go ahead and grab those. A bequest, and reason. So we'll put that there. Okay, so this is study. That's what that verb is. I couldn't remember the name of it. Study, dream, and work. Time passes is here. That one just grabs money from us every 60 seconds, I think it is. And it also tells you what's going to be next. So normally if we hover over this, we can click on it. So this is what's going to be happening next in the next 60 seconds. It's going to take 1 gold, and it's going to put this. Season the winds of the wood, reverse direction, a time when the appetites and mortals both rise. So that has to do with our cult. Essentially, it's a time where we need to do something or else we're going to suffer the consequences. Alright, so these are the main 3. I don't know why I didn't grab that stack. the main three that you have, as you can see here. We have 1 health, 1 reason, 1 passion. So if we put this reason into the work, we can go find some clerical work, which is the easiest job to start off with. It's repetitive. It's a good way to make money at the beginning. Eventually, you won't have a need for it. You can send like your cronies after the boss of the building, and you can run the place essentially. It's pretty great. I love it. The game's pretty in depth for a small indie game. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and unpause it here. Let those run. That one was only 10 seconds, as you saw, so we got our reason back, and we got a junior position at Glover and Glover. So if we click on that, my intellect should be put to better use, but the pay is better than laborer's work. If you don't attend this job regularly, you may suffer a demotion. So if we don't use this job, I believe it's every 90 seconds. As you can see here, it's already counting down. It'll go turn an orange color, I think it was, and it'll show that we're being reprimanded, we're being fired, and we have to basically beg for our job back. The scratching of pens, the sourness of dust, the sighing of the younger Glover, the greedy gurgling of the elder. Get to work. All right, so you can put this, it says here diligence. If you click on it, it'll tell you what it wants. It wants reason, which is that one here. It's saying that if we put extra work in, watch, if we drag, I'll show you. I'll apply extra effort, perhaps they'll appreciate it. So if you do that, you can get a promotion. But with the promotion, you'll be required to use that reason continuously, essentially. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of coast on these funds here, and we're going to raise our reason. We're going to put that into the study task, and the world is awash with printed words. Even the newspapers contain knowledge sometimes. By studying that, we're going to get, similar to how we have this vitality down here, we're going to get one for reason. We can also study this. We should have studied this first. I totally forgot about that. All right, so that's going to go along there. Again, this is a more slower paced game, so you're going to have to bear with me. That's going to take one of our money, and this is going to what hunger drives us. So we don't have our cult established yet, so it's going to generate something called restlessness. All right. We got our 1 gold from work. Just go ahead and pop that back in there. We researched our reason, and we got erudition. We're going to go ahead and throw that back in there, and we're going to get 2 of these. We can combine 2 of these to get another reason. It's going to generate a restlessness. So restlessness is bad. A restless longing has me. I feel that I want to do something. What exactly? So if we let this restlessness count down to 60, or from 60, it'll generate a depression, I think it is. And our character can literally get depressed and suicidal. And it sucks. If you get a bunch of those, it can end the game. Oh, look at that. So sometimes other events will happen, and that just generated a erudition. It was basically our character seeing beyond what his mind can comprehend, and so it gave us one of the eruditions. So when that's done, we can combine these 2 and get another one. So you notice something different happened this time. Time passes, and this time it was a time of health, of body. So it took our health, and it's going to generate a sickness, which is fine because we can pay money, or we could have used that vitality to cure it. All right, there's our money. Just keep going to work. We got our reason back, and we got an erudition, so we're going to go ahead and research that. And when that's done in 60 seconds, combine 2 of these erudition, we'll get another reason. We'll also get a diploma, I think it is. Dread, that's what it is. So our, as you can see here, our restlessness turned into dread. I like how my mouse doesn't match up with my mouse on the screen. Are you seeing that, Yarbs? Is it not matching up to the game? That's interesting. Alright, so after that counts down from 50, we'll have an additional reason, which we could use at our workplace if we wanted to. That's so weird. That dread is bad. What we need to do is we need to get a, it just looks slow. I'm streaming at 60 frames per second. HD. Yeah, so see, I'm hovering. See how it highlights that there? It's because I'm hovering over it on my game. I'm not sure why it's having a hard time capturing my cursor. That's weird. Alright, so that time of health turned into an affliction. So we'll just set that down here out of the way. That one's easy to fix. So if we grab it, you can see that our dream verb there highlights. That means we can use it there. So we pop that into there, and it says resting will restore me if I have the necessary resources. So it says medicines or vitality. So if we click on medicines, we can see that we could pay for a doctor's visit by putting a coin up there, and that'll solve it. Or if we had that vitality, we could have put it in there. So you can either go to the doctor and get drugs, or you can, perhaps I just need a little rest. But we don't have that vitality, so we're actually going to throw in money for now. That'll take 60 seconds, and that'll get rid of it. So we just got this contentment here. So with this contentment, we can use it with this dread to counteract it. We have to use it on the dream verb, so we'll have to wait. All right, so remember we combined those two eruditions. We got skill, a scholarship. I'm flush with clever quotations. Use this with 2 lessons learned to gain more reason. We'll go into lessons learned later. And now we have an additional reason. Now we have 2. We can do that with all 3 of these. All right, so we're going to keep going to work. This time we're going to study passion. And right now what we're waiting for is this dream verb to go down to 0 so that we can use this commitment and dread to kind of cancel each other out. You have to be quick on that pause button because this reached 0 and this only has 3.9 seconds left. So we're not going to unpause it just yet. We're going to use this dread with this contentment. I remember that I was different before, so it's going to cancel it out. This dread's really bad. If you get 3 of those, it'll basically your character commits suicide. He can't live with the sadness anymore. Alright, so you just hit start, and that combines those 2, and you're good to go. But it doesn't matter because we're going to get another one from this here. I'm actually going to look that up real quick. Mouse not syncing up with 11 months ago. Ooh. Are you stretching your capture image in OBS? Make sure your image larger or smaller than initially appears in OBS. No, I'm not doing anything weird with it. I'm actually going to post on Twitter that I'm live right now. All right. That's updated. That's there. Cool, cool, cool. It looks like it's just an error with OBS. That's so weird. All right. So where were we? We got rid of our depression, essentially. We need to study this bequest. If we don't, then we're never going to get our cult started. Right now, what I'm doing is just trying to establish. It looks better. All right, I'll take it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. For some reason, it's just having an issue with it. All right, so when we studied that passion, we got our passion back, and we got a glimmering. I'm going to study this again real quick, and it's going to give us a second glimmering. And after that, we'll combine them to get a second passion. I might also do it with health, just so we have the base 2 of each before our money starts going down. The only thing I'm worried about is this restlessness. Let's see if I can fix, maybe it's an issue with the scene here. Nope, it's definitely not that. It's definitely wanting to, it's like a couple inches to the left for some reason. How odd. I don't want to force scaling. Oh, baby. I wanted to see my cursor, but it's not wanting to capture it. Hey, there we go. That looks like that fixed it. Because I'm hovering right over what I'm hovering over. We actually never named ourselves. Our guy's name is going to be Yarbs. Because he's big gay like that. Cool. Looks like I fixed it. Not sure what I did, but I resolved it. Now my mouse is hovering over where it should be. All right, Yarbs. You are a guy who just got fired, going crazy, seeing visions, and you're going to start a cult. Oh, hey. The wrong kind of attention you've gathered here, Yarbs. The city is rife with journalists and detectives and other meddlers. How long will they leave me in peace? Raggy. Sometimes our dreams can generate these fleeting reminiscence. We can use these to like explore the city and find things. Again, that's more later. Right now we're getting started with the basics. So this doesn't really matter because we don't have any reputation or anything at this moment. We're going to study those two together. We're going to go back to our job. And then the next time the study is available, we're going to research the goods that the old man gave us. And we got a contentment to counteract this dread. No depression here. We're happy. We're happy because we're not being hunted by the law yet. That continually takes our money every 60 seconds. Gather that. We got another skill here. And we got another passion. We could do it for health. I'm not really worried about it right this second. But we're going to go ahead and study this bequest. Unlock books and other treasures. How are we going to approach it? We can either approach it with reason or passion. Yarbs, would you say you're a reasonable dude or you're more passionate about things? I'm going to go with passionate. I'm going to see if you say the same. How do you want to approach this? Do you want to approach it? All right, so passion. I'll read, theorize. Ooh. I'll read, theorize, pace, sketch, clutch at my hair in wonder, rise in elation, collapse in despair. Alright, so now we are examining our bequest and plumbing passion. So that'll go for 30 seconds. Alright, so what did we get from that? From the old man. These are the books we got from the old man. My correspondent describes my dreams exactly. They use names that are instantly familiar. The house, the wood, the hours, the glory. I sense here a power that generals and kings would envy. A new desire burns in me. There's a note here. Directions to a bookshop that does not advertise its wares. Alright, so go ahead and throw our passion down there. We got directions to Moorlands, which is the bookshop. We got a note on a possible collaborator, so someone to help us out. We got our temptation, power. We are tempted by power. We want to be more powerful. And we got a smith's secret. So this is a lore. Knowledge of the invisible arts. I can use it to attract followers to perform rites, which are rituals, to open the ways to the mansis, to seek my ascension. So these are the different lores that we discover through our research, through finding these strange books and things. We're going to study these directions. The directions to Moorland's shop are cryptic. Excuse me. When one deals in the kind of books my correspondent studied, one must be circumspect. All right, we're going to start that. That's 30 seconds. All right, so this is what I was talking about, this bleak thoughts here. If we had those dread, it would pull that in automatically. See the little magnet there? It would pull it in automatically. And if we got 3 of them, it would turn into despair, and our character would be like, nope. I actually think it shows your body, like, well, it shows it. It, like, shows an outline of your body, like, hanging there, which is pretty grim. I'm going to go ahead and let people know I'm streaming. All right. So now we are studying the directions to that bookshop where we can go and buy books of all kinds of different flavors. Our job, we're working away, making sure we have money so we can survive. All right, we found his shop. So is this has given us a location, aspect location. So I like to put all my locations up here. Close all that. All right, so we found the bookshop. So now you notice it has opened up a new verb for us, explore. And it has given us another lore. So we can use these lores, specifically the occult scraps, to go and explore places in the city. So we're going to go ahead and use that right away, and that's 60 seconds. At the same time, while that's going on, we're going to use the study verb to study this notes on a possible collaborator. I have a name, a description, a few tantalizing details, but there are 1,000 faces in this city. That one's going to take 30 seconds. While that's running, we don't need to do anything else. We're not depressed, so we don't need to worry about that. We got our lores over here, which we'll do stuff with later. All right, so this is a new verb here. An acquaintance. I believe it's a speaking verb. I await an answer to a letter. So as you can see, a lot of different things are happening at once here. This depression one, despair one, nothing happened. It didn't have anything to pull, so we got this fleeting reminiscence. Just put that down there with the other one. So this is one of the randomly generated ones every 60 seconds. A trembling in the air. The sun flickers like a shadow. Dreams ripple behind the surface of mirrors. I must be careful not to drift from the waking world. So this one here would pull in fascination. Essentially, our character's going crazy with knowledge. But it has nothing to pull right now, so we're not worried about it. Let's do some organizing here. like these to be kind of keep all my ducks in a row, so to speak. All right. So a potential collaborator, nothing happened. Nothing came from it. We have an address. Other than that, that's it. We got Mystique. So this is one of the things that go with the hunter that we saw earlier. Things like Mystique will drag a detective after you. It could be just a private eye type person who's just researching things, he has nothing better to do, or it could be someone from like an organization that seeks out these people that are starting cults and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and put that one down there. Just out of the way. We're not worried about it right now. We are not being hunted just yet. All right, so we're going to put that down there. We'll think about that in a minute. All right, that's still pulling our money. So if you notice, if we hover over the Smith's Secret, we can actually research it, but you need 2 of them. And what you're doing is you're combining them into a more powerful lore. More on that later. All right, so we just got a bunch of stuff done. All right, so when we use that occult scrap to go search throughout the city, we found this place here. Cater and Hero Limited. It's been abandoned since the explosion, when both the owners died. The machines stand silent. The building is a collapsing shell. Mr. Cater was known to display peculiar trinkets in his office. Perhaps some yet remain. So what we can do is we can use our Explorer verb with that, and essentially what we'll do is we'll chalk together a journey to go investigate this place and find artifacts or books and things like that that can help aid our cult, and maybe even artifacts, like I said, that you can use in rituals and like sacrifice your gatherers to summon creatures from beyond and things like that. All right, our job, working hard or hardly working, it's fine. All right, so that talking verb that popped up when we sent off that letter that old guy gave us about a collaborator is now done. It says, the reply to your letter is courteous, if cautious. They are intrigued by how you found the name, intrigued enough to meet you. So if we click on them, we have a hanger-on. So this is just a person. It's not a named person. It's not anyone specific. Usefully malleable, but they'll probably never amount to much. So these guys you just use as you would send them off on your journeys to go and be sacrificial pawns, pretty much. But we'll put them down here by our temptation, and we're actually going to dream about that. So we're going to meditate it. Should I dedicate myself to the purpose or focus my efforts elsewhere? All right, so we're going to dream about that. Dedicate myself with the lore of the principle I seek to focus my efforts elsewhere. Sensation? No, that's not what we're doing. I will dedicate myself to the pursuit of power. The flame's dedication. All right, so we're going to let that run for 60 seconds, and we're going to start our cult based off of our desire to find more power. So if you hear that sound there, it's just one of our temporary ones disappearing. Like Mystique is temporary. These fleeting reminiscence are temporary. Hanger-on will stay. There are minions, I guess, that you can hire, like thugs and stuff, like a bomb maker or just a ruffian type dude, and they'll go and more on that later because we'll need them for our current job. But we're going to use this hanger-on and we're going to talk to them. Here's someone I might work with, a companion or a follower, but first I must give them something to follow, a society. A sodality? I can't read it. Yeah, a sodality, an order, a cult. All right. This didn't generate anything, so we'll put that over there. So we're talking to that person about forming a cult. He's like, hell yeah. So this is the other one I was talking about, notoriety. I've begun my true work. The authorities will take an interest in it. I must be ready for them. You have now begun to establish your cult. It will need a little more before you can recruit followers. All right, so Yarbs, the aspirant, has now got some notoriety to his name. He's also got this kind of aura of mystique about him. He's mysterious. This verb here popped up now. We just need to choose our founding principles. That's fine. Once our dream one gets done, that'll give us what we're looking for. I'm just going to keep going to work, making sure we're having a continuous flow of money. All right, so we got that lore back. I'm going to put this down here, actually. And we also got this dedication power. I've dedicated myself to the acquisition of immortal power at any cost. Hell yeah. Oh, what did it say there? Oh man, I missed it. I think I can go back. Nope. Wow, we missed some more. That's okay. All right, so our cult is going to be based on power. We're going to establish the unflinching order, which is involved with our dedication. So forge is what this is. If you click here, aspect, it's the aspect that we're going for. Our dedication is power. We're going to become a super powerful ascended individual based on the aspect of the forge. Fire, I once read, is the winter that warms and the spring that consumes. The aspect, or the principle of forge, transforms and destroys. All right, so we're going to found our cult on that. So it's called the Unflinching Order. While that's going, you notice we have nothing going on up there, so we're going to put our health up there. Let's actually make sure, yep. We're going to put our health, oops. We're going to research that health so that we can get a second one. Because right now, if we get sick, we only have one. We can't use that other one for anything else. So I believe it's just you go out and exercise. Yeah, fresh air and exercise. Long walks kill cobwebs. And while that's going on, we're going to go to this bookshop. Explore the city with health or followers. Explore locations or investigate the possibilities of lore. Exploration is often unpredictable. So in order to go to the bookshop, we got to pay money because we're going to buy a book. It takes time to sort the gold from the dross, the wheat from the chaff, the blood from the water. If I buy enough books, I'll find something interesting. Oh yeah, we gotta sacrifice. Oh, see? We have to sacrifice a health here. But I just used it in that, so I don't think it'll work just yet. It might cancel this out. I don't remember. I should have known better. Oh, it'll keep going repeatedly. Alright, so the only book we got is a collection of poetry. So these collections that you can find, you study them, and it can increase your passion. It used to be a lot easier to gather these, but they added a new system like lessons learned, etc. That's made it a little bit more advanced. I hope that this keeps going on repeat until I'm able to find to get my health verb back. There we go. Yeah, we got health and vitality. So we need to put our health there, which is fine for now. It's not gonna cost anything. All right, our first recruit is gonna be this guy, this hanger-on. Oh, so now that we have that notoriety and that mystique, we have this verb, the wrong kind of attention again. It's going to pull these notorieties and these mystiques, and it's going to give us a rival, more and less likely. Alright, so we got a pawn. You notice he was upgraded from a hanger-on to a pawn. We also got an injury, which we can fix. I need rest and nourishment if I am to recover, but the mother of ants looks kindly on wounds. Dreaming with an injury before the card fades will also allow you to recover health. We got our lore back. We got a temporary headquarters for our cult. We're going to put that down by our cult. And we got the actual cult, the actual name of our cult. So this is the Unflinching Order, an occult society dedicated to the fire that changes and remakes. That forge aspect again. You can use cults with the talk verb to recruit or promote followers and to send them out on errands to gather resources. A believer can be promoted to a disciple. A few gifted disciples can be exalted even higher to reshapers. All right, so our cult's pretty much established now. Yarbs is on his way. He's got a pawn. He's got headquarters. He's got his cult set up. He's about to get a rival. We can actually go ahead and study. Let's not study that collection of poetry just yet. It'll give us a lesson learned, which I don't know how many we need. 2 lessons learned, yeah. So we can't use that just yet, which is fine. We need to use this. Damn. We'll go ahead and use that vitality with that, and we'll worry about the other thing in a second. So what we can do is we can actually use this lore here with the talk verb to speak of esoteric matters, and we'll go and we'll publicly talk about occult stuff and see if we can gather more followers. You can also use that to find secret places and things like that. And also, now that we're we have an adversary. There's always someone who doesn't understand or who understands too well. This troublemaker may seek evidence on my activities to share with the authorities. All right, we got an easy one. We got a weary detective. This gentleman would much rather be left alone with his pipe and his illustrated London news. But no, apparently some conjurer, some conjurer of abominations has to be hunted down like a mad dog, and apparently no one else can find the time. So we got our adversary here, a weary detective. That's easy goings. He is lazy. We can send our cronies after him. He's gonna see our notoriety and mystique here, but he's not gonna do much about it, and that's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do some organizing here. Our cult stuff's here. Our skills are gonna be down here. They're gonna be out of the way because we don't use those very often. Cult here, our followers and stuff will be here. We'll put our books up here. We'll put all the temporary stuff around this area. The physical locations that we can continually go to up top here. And then the ones that are used for strictly adventures, like exploration, will be this row here. All right, so you notice we don't have any health. So if we were to get that time of health or whatever it is, we would be in trouble, but it's fine. For those of you joining in, this game is called Cultist Simulator. It's a card-based game in which you form a cult, find followers, and ascend to godhood. It's pretty fun. I've got about 170 hours into it, and I thoroughly enjoy this game. All right, so you notice our detective guy jumped into there. So that means we're being investigated. He's searching for clues. I need to make that text a little bigger. Let's make that info window a little bit longer. It's still hard to see. An adversary is asking searching questions about my activities. So right now he's going out and he's trying to figure out if we're doing occult activities, which we are. And so the little magnet there will grab our notoriety, and he'll use that to form evidence against us, essentially. But like I said, we got lucky. We got the lazy cop. He won't be doing much with that. All right, so we were talking, and it automatically grabbed that passion. So essentially, we're using that passion to gather a new acquaintance. Our job is ever continuing. I kind of want to study this, but not just yet. Let's go ahead and see if we can purchase another book. So right now what we're really waiting on is more lore, because we can use the lores to gather more peons. What is the word for it? Followers. There we go. We can gather more followers, more members into our cult, and we can use them to go and do jobs, explore these places like this. I don't know what it is. It's just a Cater and Hero Limited. It's a vault. It's a vault is what it's called, but it's a place where we can send our followers to go and check out and try and find artifacts and things like that we can use to further along our cult and ascend ourselves, because we don't care about them. As long as they understand that we are in charge here and we are the ones who are in the end ascending to greatness, they'll help us out. But that's what a cult is, right? Alright, so this is a bad thing. The sickness here. Because this time thing went around 60 seconds and it didn't have one of the health to grab, it's going to do this. And we have 56 seconds, essentially. If an illness cannot consume health, which we don't have any, it will kill you. So we have 42 seconds before we get done studying that health, before we die. But that's what this game is about. It doesn't give you directions. It just, you have to figure it out as you go. And luckily, I've got most of it figured out. Alright, so we got a book. We got Wrapped in the King. Detailed accounts by James Colin Murphy of secret bacchanals and ecstatic dances observed in necropolises and graveyards in southern Europe, in Egypt, and in Anatolia. The author is a self-confessed ghoul, an eater of buried flesh. He claims to have witnessed the dances while at his feasting. That sounds like some good reading, so we're going to go ahead and read that as soon as our research is done. Hopefully we don't die, which will be great. Alright, so we got a passion. This is from talking to that person. We got our lore back, and we got an acquaintance. Leo. Leo is an earnest sort with an interest in the occult. He hangs on your hints about the invisible arts. So we'll put him next to our pawn. And something else that was generated, I didn't really go over. I'll move my head out of the way here. Was these here. So our weary detective got tentative evidence. So a hunter has found evidence, real or imagined, of my sins. Hunters with evidence of occult activities become more dangerous. Evidence may survive the death of the hunter who created it. So most of the time this evidence, the tentative evidence especially, will just be dismissed if we're lucky, which I think we will be. Alright, good. So our job's done. We're going to keep working until we die. We got our health back, and we got a second vitality. So this health should automatically, yep, it's going to go over there. It's going to turn white instead of red, so we're not going to die. Perfect. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab both these vitalities into this, so that we'll have a second health, so that doesn't happen again. This affliction we already discussed earlier. We can cure it with money, or if we have those vitalities that we had, we can put one of those in there without having to spend money. But right now, unfortunately, we need the vitalities to increase our health. Alright, so Leo. What we are going to do is we're going to use this cult in the talk verb here. And what that's going to do is we can interrogate, intimidate, beguile, instruct, or recruit. We're going to drag Leo into there. So he is a recruit. All these things here along the bottom are changing. Aspect mortal, that's Leo. Acquaintance, he's not a friend or an enemy. Veneration, Forge, so we're going to call upon the name of Forge in order to bring him into our cult. Aspect society, so the society is our cult. So now we bring this lore here and put it into the ceremony tab. And we're going to recruit an acquaintance by invoking the Forge. This one is ready. So you notice everything combined there equals 2 forge. So as we recruit our followers later on, like if we put this pawn guy in here, 2 isn't going to be enough. Later on, you'll find higher tier ones, higher tier lores, and they will be able to convert our lower ranked followers into a higher ranked follower. But for now, we're going to invoke Forge to make Leo a follower. Let everything run its course. Alright, we got our lore back, and we got Leo. He's now a believer, and there's our cult. So if we click on him, his thing will change. Leo is an earnest sort, but he's prepared to do what he must. So each of our followers have a different aspect. So our main aspect of our cult is Forge, but each individual follower has their own aspects. So he has aspect Heart. The heart relentless beats to protect the skin of the world we understand. The heart is a principle that continues and preserves. So what's important about those different aspects is when we go on these quests or journeys to these places here, like the vaults and everything, it will call upon different followers for different abilities. So like we may need someone who has the edge, they're edgy, have the edge aspect in order to attack or something like that. Or there's another one called Moth. If they have the Moth aspect, instead of attacking people, they basically mesmerize them. It's really cool once you get into it. Right now our detective's doing his thing, but we don't care. We could, if we wanted to, just to show this off, we could go use our cult thing here. We would drag our pawn into it. We could talk to him. Actually, what we would do is we would just drag the pawn up to there. We'd hit start to talk to him, and then it would ask us for another slot to put something in. It's like, oh, what do you want to talk about? And we could drag the detective up there if we wanted to send our follower after the detective. We could drag the evidence up there if we wanted our follower to try and get rid of the evidence itself. Just a whole bunch of different things you can do. Right now what we need to do is get more followers. As you can see, we're also running out of money. We're not generating enough to continually grow. Alright, so we got a stronger physique, which means we have 2 healths now. Which one of them just got done being used there? We're actually going to study this book. The dances draw from the traditions of the mysteries of the cult of Isis and Cybele, but include both symbolic and literal flayings, and the human heart is always central in the rites. The author punctuates his accounts with queasy, sensuous descriptions of his own interrupted feasts. Alright, so sounds like some good reading again. We're going to check that out. And while that's going on, we're going to speak some more about our cult, my brothers. And we're going to gather some members. We got a vitality with 0.1 seconds left, and there it went. Oh, that was weird. I thought it was going to disappear. I was like, oh, that's strange. So we have a vitality now, which is good, but we can't use it with anything, unfortunately. It says we can explore these. I don't know if I've ever explored them. My thoughts will wander and I will follow. Old emotions will come to roost. Secret histories. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's check that out. It could drive us crazy, but, I mean, that's the whole point of this game. Alright, so something else we can do now is we can actually use this reason here to put in extra effort at work. And what that's going to do is give us more money, which we need. Alright, so we studied the Wrapped in the King. At these greater feasts, a black pig is always crowned as king before its slaying. On this occasion, its heart was weighed in the balance against a knot of feathers, and its skin became a cape for an officiant. Its flesh was left for the crows, but I must confess my interest was not in its carcass, but in the perfumed flesh of the milliner laid fresh in the earth. More craziness. We got a new lore, a waking chant. So if we click on this one, you notice it looks different. It is because it is a lore of heart that we talked about earlier, and it has 6 points to it. So if we went heart instead of forge, we would already be able to, I believe, upgrade the person to the next level. But that's okay. Well, we can still use these in our rituals and stuff like that if we're looking strictly for that type of lore. So it's fine, we'll keep it. We're talking to somebody, a patron this time. So you notice last time it took our passion when we were trying to convince someone to join our cult. This time it took reason, and we're trying to gather a patron. We can learn from each other. All right, we got a dread. That sucks. Up, and it was sucked into this one here, bleak thoughts. So again, 3 dread equal lose. Maybe if we study that, it'll give us a contentment. Working extra hard at work today. What do we get? We got our reason back, dimmed. We got our job back, and we still only got 1 gold. Mr. Alden, the supervisor of records, has called me into his office to recognize my diligence. I watch the mole on his neck as he talks and talks and talks. But at the end of it, I have a promotion. My new position is better paid and the desk stands by the street window, but I work directly for Mr. Alden now. Mr. Alden is known to be exacting. Alright, so we'll collect our money and we'll go to work. I'm better paid than I was, but Mr. Alden has taken an interest in me. Mr. Alden is very particular. Mr. Alden likes things done just so, and Mr. Alden has never believed that I am qualified for this position. Soon we will sacrifice him to the cult. Where's our second reason at? Oh, it was sucked in there. Well, that's not good. Oh, it's okay. Give us it back. Alright, so we're going to collect all there. We got our lore back. We got some more mystique, which is fine. And we got a new person. We got Count Jennings. Count Jennings. Count Gottlob? Jennings represents a continental confraternity of physicians and duelists. He could use your assistance. So what he is, if we click on it, he's immortal, just like us. He is a tutor, so we can use him to study a language. He's a patron, so he provides for us knowledge. And here's what we can learn from him. Latin scholar, so we can learn the Latin language from him. So how that's important is it plays a role in any books that we find. Some books require translation, and if we're not skilled in the language, then we can't learn from that book. Which is fine. I'm trying to think of what we can do here. We need to go explore. I think we can use our health to go walk around the city. Which is fine. As long as we always have 1 health left over, we'll be okay. We can also dream about these. We can dream about passion. Here we go. So the moonlit road. I know this dream, a road crests a hilltop, and the air is silver bright. So we're going to start dreaming. I know this dream. We already looked at that. We're going to go ahead and put our lore into there, forge. We're going to see what it generates. Alright, so we got a lesson learned. So that's 300 seconds. Use this with your imagination skill to improve the skill and gain passion. It lasts up to 5 minutes before it decays back to glimmering. Alright, so I believe we need to use this with 2. Yeah, we need to go click on our paintbrush here. My daydreams sometime outpace my dreams. Use this with work to paint or with study, and with 2 lessons learned to gain more passion. So we only have 1 lesson learned. And I'm not sure how we get more. I I think if we just study it, it'll work out. All right, so we found another place. 2 glimmering. Okay, I wasn't aware of the new changes. I haven't played it since they introduced the ghoul and the preacher, and I know there was a lot of changes after that. I played Dancer for a little bit, and I wasn't sure if it was still the same way that time, but I can use 2 glimmering to get a lessons learned. Awesome. All right, go ahead and put, this is Oriflame's auction house. We can go there and we can bid on books. More books for us to study. The cool thing about that is we can sell stuff there too. So like if we had that poetry and we didn't want it, we maybe could get 1 or 2 gold from it, maybe. Or we could get junk. Yeah, I got 180 hours into this game, but that was even before the Dancer release. So I'm a bit behind in what all the new stuff is, but I got drawn super into this game just because it's chill. It's fun to play and just waste time, I guess. All right, so right now our vitalities are taken away. I believe we can use those both with the study verb, as a ground bird air cat said. And it should give us a lesson learned for our health, which we would then use to increase that. But we don't have enough time, because if we studied them both together, it would only give us 1 of those, and we need to just manage our time a little better, essentially, which is what I suck at the most about this game. All right, our reason there. All right, so this is what's bad about this job here. Work overtime at Mr. Alden's insistence. I do not believe that you have properly understood the importance of our work here. This task will require your full attention. Add reason to satisfy Mr. Alden. So this is why having 2 reasons is important once you get the promotion, because sometimes he will ask for you to essentially stay late and work harder. The work is complete when I have assessed the work as complete and not before. I trust we understand each other. So it will give us 2 gold or 2 funds, I guess, instead of 1, but we'll have to use our reason in order to get it. So, as you notice, this time here, solitude, we're alone, we're not in love with anybody just yet, but it generated a contentment, which automatically jumped in here to counteract this dread. All right, so we are studying. We worked overtime, so that reason that we had is now dimmed. There's our job back, and now we got 2 funds. So we're gonna go ahead and jump back into that. By the time that one gets to that second screen, this first reason should be undimmed, and we can use it again and still have 1 available. All right, so we got the passion and the glimmering. So we're gonna jump and put that passion right back in there. And we're gonna study it in order to get a second glimmering. Where'd our lesson learned go? Study the last 5, oh, there it is, okay. So then after we get a second glimmering, we'll study that and it'll turn into a lesson learned, and we'll combine these lessons learned to get a 3rd passion. Lots going on here. Oh, we did get another vitality there, though. All right, that'll cancel out. We're about to get another one, another restlessness here. Relentlessness is what it should be called, because I swear it does that one the most. That's the problem. If you don't do your cultish activities often enough, you'll continually generate these restlessness, which if you do your job as a painter, instead of doing like the clerical work that I did, you can grab the restlessness and use them in your paintings. And what it does is it kind of eats up the time that they would normally tick down, and it doesn't tick down during that whole time you're using them in your paintings. So it's pretty useful. Yep, he's asking for more reason. Occasionally he won't, which is nice, but most of the time he does. All right, so we got 2 glimmerings, so we're going to go ahead and study those. The tigers of wrath are wiser than the horses of instruction. If I spend time studying what I've learned, I could work towards increasing my passion. So that's going to go for 60 seconds, and then once that's done, we will use our skill of vivid imagination with 2 of these glimmering lessons learned, and that'll generate a 3rd passion. In the meantime, we're going to be speaking of esoteric matters and continually trying to get more followers. Eventually, we can resolve the issue with Mr. Alden. We can send one of our followers or a thug after him to blow him up, blackmail him, any of the above, in order to get him off our back. But that's later. In the meantime, we are just trying to gather enough followers to keep our cult on the... Oh, I can't do that. I gotta use it with the running capably. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to just keep running. Alright, so we're using passion, which means we're going to generate another follower, which is perfect. You can tell again by just clicking on that and reading what it is. An acquaintance is a follower. A patron would be another a tutor. So we're going to generate another follower there, which is perfect. See, this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes this one happens multiple times in a row, the Forge's Roar, or whatever aspect you're going for. It'll happen multiple times in a row, and it'll continuously generate despair and dread and all of that. And there's another restlessness, which will in turn turn into a dread, which will in turn fed this, and if you get 3 of them, you're done skis. What you can do is try and explore to find the strip club. And if you find that, which we didn't. Damn, I don't want to use that health. If you do that, then you'll be able to go there and you can generate contentment, and the contentment will get rid of the dread. Alright, so our lore there. We got another follower. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. If you use the funds in your dream verb, you can get an opium tincture, and that can help generate contentment, like Ground said. And we're gonna go ahead and actually do that. We are pretty low on funds, but the dread is the early game killer. It sucks. Thank you for reminding me of that. I get way too forgetful when I play this game. It sucks because there's so many different things to manage. We don't want to go to Oriflames or Moorlands right now because we just don't have the money. Our tincture gave us contentment, which will cancel out one of those. And it doesn't matter because we just generated another one. So we can keep throwing money at it and hope we get contentment out of it. Which unfortunately just kind of sucks. We gotta use our reason there for work. Health there, we're gonna go explore. We're gonna try and find a way to generate more contentment. Hireling, we don't want to hire anyone. A hulking fellow. Ooh. Actually, so this is one of the people that I was talking about. You can hire them to go and take out your boss, and when you do that, yes, when the restlessness runs out, it turns into dread, unfortunately, and it's one of the ones that generates early on when you start your cult, because you'll have that time of desire or whatever it is, and every time you don't further along your cult or you're not following the proper advancement, it'll generate the restlessness, and the restlessness will time out and it'll turn into dread. Yeah, it sucks early on because I swear it pops them out every 10 seconds. But that's fine. All right, so there's another contentment. So actually what we can do is we're going to pause it real quick. We're going to go to work. That's fine. We're going to start that. We can open up our dreaming verb. We can put this dread in here to get rid of it before it's even sucked into the despair. You know, it's got 2 seconds left. That's plenty of time. By putting it in there with a contentment, it's gone. We don't have to worry about it being automatically pulled over there anymore. I'm thinking we're gonna hire this guy. So the thing is, we can hire like these thugs and stuff, and the only downside of it is we can generate more notoriety, and that'll get the detective on our trail. But luckily, we have the weary detective, and he's like easy mode as far as the adversaries you can get. So it's worth risking, in my opinion. All right, so as you can see, since it didn't pull that second despair in there, it canceled it out, and we got a fleeting reminiscence out of it. We also got, by exploring earlier with our health in the explore verb. Do I play worm or bird? Right now I have it on bird, it looks like. I was so enthralled by that when I first got into this game. I kept changing it to see if anything happened. I was like, what is changing? I would change it, close the game, look at it, let it run for a little bit, change it. Okay, what changed? And then I looked it up and they're like, yeah, it doesn't do anything. Oh, okay. They got me. Had me in the first half, not gonna lie. All right, so we're gonna hire that hulking fellow. And we're gonna send him, I'll show you guys in a second here, we're gonna send him after our boss. If we take out our boss, then we can go to work and just kind of stroll in, leave at noon, whatever. I don't like how they don't jump to the same spots, but that's okay. All right, so we got an affliction, that's fine. We're just gonna have to keep throwing money at it. Money that we do not have. All right, so you notice that time he didn't ask for our reason, which is always nice. We can use these fleeting reminiscence in the explorer verb to see if we can find anything. It's another one of those risky moves, because last time we generated a dread from it, but I mean, we can also get more locations and things like that. All right, so considering the evidence, I am safe for now. My adversary has not enough evidence to bring a case against me, and they found no new clues. Useless. This dude's useless, which is great for us. All right, so we're exploring. So next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna let our work thing time out. Hopefully this guy doesn't time out first. We got a vitality, which is nice. We can use that. See, just like I said, use these fleeting reminiscence. Boom, dread. Awesome. But if we don't get the time of despair again generated from our time passes, then we'll be fine. If it reaches 0 before we get another time of despair. Which, knowing our luck, probably won't. Luckily for us, however, we can use this affliction with a vitality. We don't have to worry about spending money right now, which we are super low on, and that'll resolve it without having to spend any money. So this trembling in the air, if we had a fascination, you can counter fascination with dread, which is nice because it gets rid of a dread, and he didn't ask for our thing again. All right, so we're actually gonna hold off on our work verb right now. We're gonna speak to this guy, and we're gonna throw our work in there. Send a minion to murder an annoyance. I want this annoyance gone, but this approach is risky. My minion's strength is limited. The annoyance might very easily survive, and the attempt will draw attention. Failure will kill your minion. I mean, this is just a dude we hired, so we don't care. We're not sending one of our minions out after him. But if it succeeds, then we can go to work without ever having to worry about spending these reasons anymore. And I think we get extra money. because I think we can apply for like a board position. In the meantime, we are going to, let's paint. Let's paint the painting. And let's use restlessness. Okay. See, you could use your restlessness in there. Yes, exactly, Ground. So what you do is, when you get a hireling like that, it's either a hulking fellow, a bomb maker, a seductor, something like along those lines. You speak to them and you drag your work verb into that, and what he's going to do is going and attempting to take out your boss. The boss who makes you use that reason every time he asks extra of you. So now he's going and he's trying to take him out. If he fails, he dies, which is fine, again, because he's just someone we hired, so we just lose out on the 1 gold. And we might get some notoriety, which is fine, because like I said, we got this weary detective. He's useless. Useless. Well, good. I'm glad that I can help you out. I really enjoy this game, if you can't tell, so I'm glad that I can help someone out. Alright, so yearning, I guess it would take this restlessness and the painting verb, but we don't have any. So I think it's just gonna paint a regular old painting. I thought maybe we could use the dread, but turns out we can't. No. If I were, I wouldn't tell you. But if you follow my channel, you do become a follower in the Cult of the Bronze Demon, which is my stream name. Exactly. Yeah, no, I'm not hiding anything. No, nothing. I hate this one. I hate this one so much because we're about to generate another restlessness, which, I mean, if we're lucky, hey, we can use that in our painting. Cool, so let's go to our painting here. Let's use this restlessness and we'll get rid of it. I used to paint. I could paint those sights I half remember from my dreams. I might sell something. I probably won't. Just drink the Kool-Aid and find the nice spot on the floor. Exactly. Oof. Don't mind me, I'm just drinking water. You guys enjoy your Kool-Aid. I'm just not in the mood for it right now. Oh, hey, there we go. My minion has returned with a prisoner. Hey, look at that. Who will have time now to regret his choices. All right, so our cult has a prisoner. We got some notoriety, but we got our minion back, so we can use him again if we needed to. So now, look at this. Position at Glover and Glover. The man called Alden is gone. I may find matters easier when I return to work. So now you'll notice it doesn't have a timer on it anymore. So whenever we go, we can just kind of do whatever. Hey, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. One of us. One of us. All right, so now that our boss, the one who made us stay behind, is gone. Always down to join a cult. Hey, well, you came to the right place. The office crackles with the news of Alden's unexpected absence. A scrawny, nervous fellow from the 4th floor has been appointed supervisor of records, temporary. Unlike Alden, he does not interfere with my work. So we just go to work now every day. Earn two funds, no issues, no extra reason spent. Alden's now right here. We can do whatever with him. I think we can sacrifice him? I don't know. I've never actually had them come back as a prisoner. Most of the time, they get taken out, or we send someone who has the aspect of the moth after them, and what they do is they make them go crazy. So you'll go into work, and the dude will just be sitting there in a corner, like drooling all over himself. The game's really cool with how it creates a picture like in your mind. It's very descriptive with everything that it does. So this hulking fellow is going to disappear in 20 seconds. We actually don't need him for anything right now, which is fine. We still need to talk to this lady, Clavette. she's still only an acquaintance, and we can bring her into our cult. We'll actually do that right now. Talk to Clavette, use a Smith's secret. So again, your cult, the person you want to join, and then the lore of your cult, depending on if it's the first level one like we got here, or one of the higher tier ones that you get later on. So we are now inducting her into our cult. We got another contentment, which is perfect because we'll use that with this dread. If I'm moving too fast, let me know, because I'm just trying to keep up with the game. He's going to disappear. His job's done. On his way. That's fine. We got another follower. Smith's secret. Clavette, a believer now. And there's our cult. So she has aspect of heart, just like this guy. So again, the aspects are going to be different. Each follower has a different aspect. Like our pawn here, our first person that we got, has edge. So they're more focused on battle and struggle, whereas the heart individuals are focused on continues and preserves. So I believe the heart is like cannibals. They're cannibalistic. If you start a cult based on the heart, you're more of the flesh. You're trying to ascend by doing rituals of the flesh and stuff like that. Forge is you're trying to change yourself into a more powerful being with sheer power, essentially. I've always wanted to try the different aspects, because when you first start your cult, it gives you the one that goes along with either health, reason, or passion. Health is forge, reason is lantern, and passion is passion. Actually, I got it mixed up. No, health is forge, passion is moth. So you can start with either one of these three when you first start the game, depending on what you get from your starting position. And you can always go into, when you generate your cult, you can always go in and use one of these to change your dedication. So your dedication starts off as either power, enlightenment, or I actually don't know what the other one is. Moth, I believe, is change. So you're not set to the one that it gives you from the beginning. You have the option to change to one of those three, or you can hold off on creating your cult, and you can go and get more lores and start a cult based off the lores that you find. Like heart isn't one of the ones that's started in the starting scenario, so you can start a cult based off heart. All right, so we've got some extra money here. We got 3, which, I mean, whatever, that's fine. We can talk to this guy. I don't think we can do anything with him. Right now, we're just going to kind of let it run out. He'll die, but whatever. I don't think we can send him on a journey. Boom, look at that. Ink, paper, and the fizzing of the electric lights. The office is dark when I leave, but I leave at the appointed time. 2 money. No issues. Didn't have to use our reason. We're good to go. So, we're going to use that, and we're going to start generating some money. While that's going on, we're going to start speaking more about the esoteric matters to try and find more followers. We can't upgrade these guys to the next level of follower until we get higher level lores. And we get those either from books or from these locations, the aspect and the capital locations. So locations are, what you do is you send your followers, you use the explore verb, and you can send an assistant and a leader. So you send up to 2 followers. It doesn't matter what level they are. It could be 2 of these pawns. It can be 2 of your main people. What depends on the leader and the follower, what changes is what aspects are used in the expedition. So right now, if we send out our expedition, we have 2 heart and 2 edge. So depending on what trials they run into are dependent on what aspects we actually need. So there may be, we can go left or right. Left requires us to utilize lantern in order to enlighten ourselves to find the proper direction. Or right could require us to use edge to slaughter a bunch of people to get to where we're going. And it tells you, it hints at it when you go on the actual expedition. It says, perhaps we could use our blades, or perhaps a follower of such and such could help us out. So it doesn't, it keeps you in the dark, but also hints at what you need. And as the quest progresses, and I'll show it later, as it progresses, it allows you to put more people in if you need to adjust for what aspects are actually taking part in the quest. So right now we're actually going to go to Oriflames, and we're going to see if we can find a book. That one only takes 3 seconds. It doesn't require any gold at the beginning. So right now we can actually see what it is. So a collection of poetry. We don't want that. We've already got 3 passion. Sure, we could use it later on down the road, but we would need, if we click on this, we need 3 lessons learned. So 2, 4, 4 glimmerings to create 2 more lessons learned, and plus the 1 we'd get from this book. Yes, it's useful, but that's later down the road. We don't need this just yet, so we can actually let that pass without having to bid on it. You could grab it if you wanted to. It just depends on how you want to play it. So, the auction house is over. Nothing. There you go. We keep our money. Pop it right back in there. See what else we can find. Alright, so this time we got a book on what is contained by silver, a bestiary by Pomander in Greek. So we don't speak Greek, but this is another book that'll give us lore. So we're actually going to go ahead and pay for this one. We're going to bid one of our funds on it, and we're going to see if we either get it. The work here is more demanding, but it's better paid. Extra effort might help if I'm lucky. We're actually going to throw our reason in there, and we're going to see if we can get a higher tier position. The only problem with the higher tier position is if we generate this notoriety, it can, basically it pops off as a scandal at the workplace, and you can lose that position. Right now we're not generating a lot of notoriety, so I think we're okay to do this. I think it's okay early on. Oh, I didn't get enough time. It took the reason into the speaking verb, which means we're getting a patron. So another person like Count Jannings, someone we'll be able to study from. All right, we've bid. Too much going on. We're gonna go back to work. Our reason right now is dimmed, so we can't do anything with that, which is fine. All right, so we've got the book. We'll go ahead and put that right here. There's Oriflames, and what we're actually going to do, we're going to go searching out the city. We're going to try and find the strip club place, because that can actually help us with these restlessness. I don't know what I could do with him. So he gives us each of these aspects. He gives us 3 lantern, 3 heart, and 3 grail. So if we had a ritual or anything that we had, which we don't have any right now, we learn those from books or from going on expeditions. If we had any of those and they needed those specific aspects, we could use him in the ritual to alleviate the need for those requirements. I don't know if we want to try that. We don't have the reason right this second, so I think we're going to hold off on it. We don't need a new hireling. This is another type that we would have found, a fortune teller. He may be useful for some expeditions and can help with hunters and annoyances. We don't need him right now. He is a level 5 lantern compared to our last guy who was only level 3. So he is higher tier level. He also has aspect of moth, which we could use him in our expeditions, but we're not going to pay gold for that when we can just generate followers. All right, we got another patron. So the Chana, she can teach us Sanskrit. So the thing about these patrons, though, is they require a different form of money. And as you get objects and stuff from your expeditions, you'll be able to sell those for a different type of money. And then you can use those specific types of money in order to study with your patrons, learn different languages, so on and so forth. If one of these guys spoke Greek, which they don't, we would be able to translate this. But for now, we're just going to kind of set it aside because we don't speak the language. There's our reason. We're going to throw that in there real quick. We're going to see what happens. All right, so we threw that reason in there. Oh, nothing happened. I wonder if it's not looking for reason. It might be looking for passion. It's looking for reason. It's weird that it kicks it off there at the last second. All right, we're going to throw it in now. We'll see what happens. And there goes that dread right into the despair. Right on time. We can actually rest with that health verb, the fatigued one, and it'll fix it faster. Instead of 60 seconds, it'll be 30 seconds, which is nice. You can't do that with any of the other ones, unfortunately. We can't study this because we don't speak the Greek. So we're going to go ahead and go to Oriflammes, and we're going to see if we can find another book. There we go. The Skeleton Songs, Poems of Greedy Delight, composed by the possible pseudonyms Arabella Dusk, the rumored heiress turned madam turned poetess. We're going to bid on that. More books, more knowledge, more ability to recruit more people, as well as, what's the word I'm looking for? Generate more followers. Further along our cult, essentially. So what I did there was I used my passion in the dream verb, and so it's asking for a lore. So last time we used our Smith's Secret and nothing happened, I don't think. Normally the wording will change. We're going to go ahead and use our lore and see what happens there. Another bidder? Well. That's fine. We're about to get 2 more money. Yeah, see, it's extra effort. It might help if I'm very lucky. Okay. So it looks like it's just a rare chance, essentially. But the problem is we don't want to use our reason much more than we have to. Alright, we got our book. That's one we'll actually be able to study because it's not in a different language. So we'll go ahead and drag that straight over to our study tab. Our verb. In Arabella's introduction, she explains that the book was to be illustrated, but that the Suppression Bureau, those are the other people that we can find, the other hunters that come after us. Luckily, we just got the fat, lazy cop. The Suppression Bureau would not permit it. She hints that the illustration still exists somewhere. The book is dedicated to Sir Parzival of the Red Cup. We're going to read that. See what we can learn. We're probably going to get more lore. You can normally tell what kind of lore you're going to get based off the color. So yellow probably is going to be lantern. Red is probably going to be grail. It's just a guess, but it's fine. So he normally generates that tentative evidence, but the thing is he doesn't do anything with it, which is good for us. Dream of doors. We'll get a restlessness, which is great. Just go ahead and throw this reason in there. Maybe we will get lucky. Woo, we got a restlessness. Hell yeah, brother. Just what we don't need. So that's going to turn into dread, and then dread turns into sadness. I really want to find the freaking strip club. Yep, see, we got the Grail. We got the Grail lore. Oh, man, I missed it, actually. Taking that bit. Sorry, I would have read that for you guys. I skipped over it. Hey, there we go. An overlooked place. Maybe we'll get lucky. Hey, there it is. The Ecdysis Club. A cabaret with the occult reputation. So what we'll do is we'll go there. We gotta spend money to go there. And we'll try and get... rip. Look at that. The performance has hardly begun when a moan of terror arises from the audience. Notoriety. Hey, starting off right. And just like that, we got another notoriety, which is perfect. Might turn that tentative evidence into damning evidence, which is not good for us. Love me some dread. It might be possible. Oh. No, I don't have that. There goes. Oh, we're up to 2 now. Woo! Yeah, look at that. Our dude's getting sad. All around me are familiar faces. Oh, yep, there he goes. Now he's gonna grab that notoriety too. Things are going well. Hey, contentment. Perfect. And now that I think about it, I can use another funds in our dream verb to try and generate some contentment with opium. Which is always nice. In the meantime, we're going to use this red secret, which is a level 1 Grail lore, and we're going to try and find some more followers. I don't think it matters which one you use. I think they're updating it in the future to whichever one you use, it has a higher chance of gathering a follower with that aspect. Because right now I believe it's generated randomly. Because I believe we used Forge both times and we got 2 heart people. But we can test it. We can test it because we just did Grail. Maybe we did Heart both times. I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, goody. That's going to generate another restlessness. Oh, yep. He's got damning evidence now. With damning evidence of occult activities in the city, the Suppression Bureau would be able to convict you. Evidence may survive the death of the hunter who created it. That's fine. We'll just go to jail, and we'll start over. It's how you learn. Life's a journey. You learn as you go. I don't think we can do anything about this just yet. I think our people are too low level to even take out the evidence, unfortunately. It's just the way it is right now. I love the music in this game, though. Passions, we're getting another follower. We'll need to see if it's a Grail follower this time. Yay, got rid of that. I love that when that happens. We got rid of it just in enough time to get rid of that, because there was another dread coming along the way. We're going to go here. We're going to try and alleviate that dread. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Hey, we got a contentment. So we can take care of it. Dread, commitment, contentment. Goodbye, dread. We also got this one here. It's a temporary one called A Buzzing in the Brain. It is a level 2 moth lore. Well, not more. It's an influence. So these influences, unlike the lores, are only temporary. And they can be of varying power levels, I guess is the word. as well. So this one's only level 2, just like our lures are different levels. This one's a level 2 forge. This one's a level 6, I believe. Level 6 heart. Pain is only what happens now. Knowledge is what we remember. To upgrade or subvert this fragment, you need to risk your health or use a prisoner. Interesting. We could do that. We could study this. Throw our prisoner there. Oh, he's only got 1 second left. He's about to become a corpse. Blech. The spirits have departed. At some point, the smell was so bad you'll have to dispose of it, but here it is for now. It may attract attention. It may be used to impress the impressionable. Even after a corpse is gone, notoriety will remain. So we need to get rid of the body, essentially. Because it's just going to generate more notoriety, which in turn is going to give us more dirt that the guard can use against us. I know I said he's only a weary detective. I don't think anything will come from this. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. But we'll see. In the meantime, we're gonna try and survive. I believe we can speak to. All right, so that gives us 3 grail, which we don't need right now. We can speak to somebody to try and get rid of the evidence, but like I said, our people are so low levels that I don't think it's going to do anything. We'll try and talk to this guy. Let's try and talk to this pawn. Send someone unsuitable to destroy evidence. Lacks the moth aspect, but will be out of their depth. There's a small chance they might succeed. So if I do this, it probably will generate more notoriety, and the person will probably die. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hold off for now. We don't want to kill the detective. What can we put here? Health? It's weird that we can put that there. I don't think it's going to do anything, though. Create a snare to delay or defeat a rival. Huh. I don't think that's for me. Okay, you can invite them places. That's interesting. Well, I don't need to talk to you about anything, really. But similar to how we got rid of our boss, we can use our minion to get rid of the evidence, the detective, so on and so forth. We need more what we need is more lures. Combine it into 2 lower level. We don't need that just yet. Go back to work. As long as we're generating money, that's okay. We're gonna try not to spend too much money right now. Great notoriety. More of these fleeting instances. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. For the time being, let's go ahead and initiate this hanger-on. Maybe they're a moth aspect, and maybe they can get rid of the evidence. We'll see. There's another despair. Fantastic. We're doing our best to generate a ton of despair. Maybe we'll end our own life before the Suppression Bureau can get to us. Alright, so we got Smith's Secret, we got another pawn, and there's our cult. What's this guy's aspect? Edge, also. That's not great. Edge is okay, but we need more. We need more. So we're going to try and gather more. We're getting a ton of dread right now, so we're going to try and go to the Thesis Club. See if we can generate some contentment. We do. Fantastic. We're going to go ahead and dream on this real quick. Let's get rid of that before this one turns into dread and it starts tallying up. And then what else we're going to do is we're going to dream on it. Passion, which means we're going to get another follower, which is perfect. We did not get a promotion. It's fine. So I'm throwing those reasons in there because if we can get a promotion, it'll give us, I think, 3 to 4 gold every turn. Funds, gold, whatever. But I don't think that's smart anymore because now we have the damning evidence. And if we get that while we're in that higher position, it'll generate a scandal and we'll lose that job altogether. But good enough, we do have this vitality here, which will allow us to, we can dream on it. And we won't have to spend gold, or funds, I guess, to get rid of that sickness. We are not down with that sickness. How'd you discover this game, by the way, Ground? I'm just going to call you Ground if that's okay, rather than saying Ground, Bird, Air, Cat. I discovered it through Dan's Gaming. He was playing it, and I was like, oh, that looks really interesting. And it ended up being my type of game. Alright, another acquaintance. We're going to go ahead and join her into our cult. Smith's Secret. Start that up. Oh, you're good. I was just asking how you discovered the game. Or how you got into it. If you saw someone streaming it, or if you saw a YouTube video, or just saw it on Steam. I think that's Winter. She's a Winter aspect. Yeah. Oh, was it really? Nice. I didn't even know that. And I got Twitch Prime. That's really cool. That's a cool way to get... These developers have been working really hard to get their game updated. Yeah, it's definitely different because, especially with the card aspect of it, it's a lot of imagination. You have to use your own mind to kind of figure out what's going on in it. Yeah, exactly. See, I wasn't sure if I was going to be into it because of the card aspect of it, but when I started putting it together and reading the text and everything, I was like, oh, okay, I like this. And I'm a big fan of H.P. Lovecraft and things like that, so that aspect of the game is actually really cool to me as well. Normally I play a lot of RimWorld, or I was playing Dwarf Fortress recently. A lot of those colony simulation type games. Look at that, 2 contentments. That's exactly what we need. because we got 2 dreads. Can I actually grab that dread from there? No, I can't. It was worth a try. I think that's actually going to disappear before that. No, it won't. Okay. Yep, here comes the Suppression Bureau. My adversary has convinced the Suppression Bureau to consider my case. The Bureau is charged with punishment of the less usual types of criminal. The criminal whose crimes may exist only in dreams. Should be fun. We'll see what happens. The problem is that's going to disappear. Oh, he took one of my pawns. They're interviewing him. They're speaking to an associate of mine for questioning. If they can find one, they'll come after me directly. Well, I just got that person. Hopefully they don't betray me. 'Cause that would suck. I got 7 funds now. That's nice. Crap, I really want to do an expedition, but the expeditions require a lot of individuals as far as your followers, and they have to be different skill sets, and I just don't have the stuff generated right now. We're still considered like early game. I will, however, try and get some opium. Still no promotion yet. That's fine. Alright, so here's what's happened. My associate has been locked away in a prison where there are no visiting rights, and even the date of release is obscure. The Bureau's appetite is satisfied for the moment, but what have they learned? Alright, so that turned into tentative evidence, so it's no longer damning evidence. We got some notoriety back, and we got our wary detective. We did lose one of our followers, however, it was only a pawn. The ones that we don't want to lose are these guys here. The actual named followers. Losing them is a big deal, because you might not find another follower with that aspect. Luckily, that notoriety is about to disappear, which is perfect. We got another passion, which means that we're going to get another follower here. I don't think we should go exploring just yet. We really need to look at Oriflames and start seeing if we can get books. Yeah, okay, we don't want that. Collection of poetry. How long is that glimmering? Actually, we might be able to. 6, 12, 18. No, we won't have enough time. What we need to do is go to Dreamland. We're actually going to go to Moreland's shop, because there we're guaranteed to get a book that's at least worth something. See, we got another hanger-on, so another pawn that we can kind of sacrifice, I guess. We're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep talking. We're going to keep trying to get followers. Let me know if you need me to slow down or if anything's too... if I'm moving too quick. Right now it's just a lot of repetition, so I'm not doing really anything new just yet. He's going to grab that Mystique. It's going to keep him halted for a minute. We got another book, one that looks like we can actually read. All right, so here I can show this to you. All right, so this book's in Latin. I think, unless they changed it, we can talk to our person here, study Latin. Yeah, see, you need to pay in spinatriae, which are the currency of the hidden world. And we don't have any of that, so we can't study Latin just yet. So we'll have to add that to our stack of books that we can't do anything with. However, we will go and purchase another book. So, about the languages, you can either learn them from these tutors, or if you go to Oriflamme's or Moreland's, you can have a chance of getting a book that teaches you the language, and you just study it with your study verb, and then you indefinitely can speak the language. You don't need a translator or anything. You can then read those books that you previously couldn't. Damn, I don't think... No, we're not doing something right there. The dream verb, we're trying to get to... we're trying to get to the door. And with the door... I'm trying to remember the name of it. I haven't played this game in a minute. With the door, you can get those hidden lures that allow you to find different expedition places. You can also get more lures of different and varying types and levels. I believe it's the white door. I believe that's just what it is. See, we got a collection of poetry. We don't really need that. So we're actually just going to go back. Now that we're generating 2 money each go around, we're going to try and keep it that way. So it took a passion there, which means we're going to get another follower, which is perfect. We're going to keep getting those followers. We're going to keep trying and converting them. Every time our work one comes off, we're going to throw it back in there, so it keeps going. We got another book. Let's see what this one is. Traveling at Night, Volume 1. The Annotated Dream Journals of Christopher Illopoli, sometimes called the only readable occultist. Literate, entertaining, bewildering. We're actually going to go ahead and study that. I don't think reading the books gives you notoriety. It could generate like fascination and you'll go insane. But we're not worried about that right this minute. We're more worried about getting followers. He's going to take that tentative evidence, but I don't think he's going to do anything with it. Because we don't have any notoriety. Actually, I think we just got some. Nope, we got Mystique. Alright, so we got another acquaintance. We got our passion back. I don't know why it didn't stack it with the rest of them. We got Mystique down here. So we're going to go ahead and start converting these people. I think we're actually going to wait till that 17, 15, whatever seconds is done before we do that, in case it generates notoriety, because we don't want that. Yep, so he's done his little thing. Now we can do it. So once again, drag your cult up there. Grab the people you want to convert. Not the believer. We want this guy, the acquaintance. I wish the text was a little bigger. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be. Grab our aspect that we founded our cult on and hit start. Alright, so see, by reading that we got another type of lore, and this is moth lore. Which I think it would be better once they change that to where if you speak about a certain type of lore, you get that type of follower. Because it'll be easier for you to get specific followers for your expeditions and so on and so forth. And while we're at it, we're actually going to go ahead and dream and get some opium so we can counteract this dread. Grab that, throw that. Alright, we got another believer now. We're getting more lore. That's another winter. So you can normally just kind of look at them. Notice these guys have the diamonds and stuff. And the blue. Normally that's... Oh, actually, it's different. I didn't realize they all had diamonds. I actually couldn't see those. Damn color blindness. So these 4 here are each a different aspect, it looks like. Except for these 2, I believe. So this guy's key, or knock. If I can remember the names. The knock permits no seal and no isolation. It thrusts us gleefully out of safety of ignorance. The knock is the principle that opens doors and unseams barriers. This is winter. This is heart, and I believe this guy's also heart. Yeah, so we got heart, winter, knock, and I believe this is edge and edge. Oh no, we haven't gotten this person yet. So we'll actually go ahead and do that right now. We got an affliction. Luckily, we have a vitality that we can use to counteract that. Ooh, that's going away pretty quickly. 60 seconds, damn it. I want to keep... So a little trick for you there, Ground. If you want to keep something past its timeout point, so like this contentment only has a minute left, if you drag it into a slot where it's accepted, it won't count down. No, time's passing, but it's not counting down right there. So this dread's counting down, and the mine's counting down where we need this contentment, but this actual contentment's not losing time. That way your cards don't count down. Especially ones that you need, like the contentment. Alright, so now we can grab this dread, add it with the contentment, and dream about it, and it goes away. Oh hey, I think we got that promotion. Oh, no, we didn't. Rip. Just throw that in there. We got our follower, our second pawn here. This one is edge as well. So they're both edge, which is fine. We're going to go ahead and talk about more esoteric matters. Keep that going. Keep getting followers. And we'll be good to go. Probably going to play for another about 15 minutes. Normally I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I was having lots of fun streaming, so I wanted to kind of do something special, try out a different game. So we'll play this for a little bit longer, and if everyone seemed to enjoy it, I might play it up again on Monday for half my stream and then play Dwarf Fortress for the rest. Because I enjoyed this game a little bit more. At least I somewhat know what I'm doing. Alright. Keep going to work. Passion, another follower. Perfect. And I might maybe... This seemed to get me quite a few people. As far as viewers playing this game, I might pick up streaming on Sundays. Just kind of for a short, maybe 2-hour stream. 8 to 10 Central Time is what I'm on. That way I can play some more out there games, maybe do some viewer suggested games and the like. I think that'll be a lot more fun. Not more fun, but it'll be a different way to do it. Pardon my rambling. Gonna go ahead and get some books. We got money. He still hasn't turned that tentative evidence into anything. We really just want that to time out. We got another person, another acquaintance. We're gonna talk to her, invite her into the cult. No, you're good. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. You do you, dude. If you just want to keep me as background noise, that's perfectly fine for me. I just like to hear myself talk is what it is. You are perfectly fine. What was that chest thing I just saw? I missed it. I might not be sure what you're talking about. Chest. I'm trying to think. Is it one of the books, maybe? No, it's not a problem at all, man. I'm actually learning a lot more since the game's changed. People in Discord be going crazy. No, I get you, man. It's fine. I'm learning while you're learning, so I have a little bit of experience, but not as much. I thought I saw something, maybe it was your overlay, but it wasn't a card. It was like a treasure chest. Huh. Yeah, that's weird. I don't have anything as far as my overlay popped up right now, just the camera in the game. Maybe it must have been one of the verbs. It was probably there for a split second and I didn't see it. If you see it again, point it out and I'll see if I can catch it in time. I hate this one so much. I'm trying to think if there was anything that would involve a chest. I'm having a brain fart. Hey, we got a lantern person. So I want at least one of every type before we go and do an expedition. So we got winter, we got knock, we got lantern, we got 2 heart, we got edge, so we're missing grail. We're missing grail, moth, and some others. Clicking on the same person like 3 times. Grail and moth. And forge. We actually don't have a person who does forge. We're going to keep talking about things, keep getting followers, hopefully. We're going to go insane. Or get depressed, I guess. I think that's what it is. We're getting restless. We're going to keep buying books. I don't care about the club or the restlessness right this second. Once it turns to dread, then I'll worry about it. But in the meantime, I need books. Trying to get this promotion. Still haven't got it. At this point, I'm just going to give up. Another book. Hey. All right, so what's this one? The Viennese Conundra. Nico van Driel describes odd events in Vienna. The disappearance of children, epidemics of parasite activity, animal mutilations, nightmares of worms, the activities of a charitable organization, the new legions that funds the burial of the poor. She proposes peculiar connections between these activities. All right, we're going to go and read that. When the individual K attends the meetings, black dogs are sacrificed and quartered. When the individual M is in attendance, black mares are found with their throats slashed. I propose that these sacrifices are not I propose that these sacrifices are not necessary, but that our Legian friends may consider them fitting. Herewith diagrams of the mutilations. All right, let's study some mutilations. We got another contentment from that, which is great. It'll counteract that dread once it transforms. We won't have to worry about going to the strip club or buying opium. Yum, yum. Hey, the tentative evidence is gone, so he will no longer have a case against us unless we generate more notoriety. Another book. Hey, there we go. Traveling at Night, Volume 2. We already read number 1, so why not number 2? The Annotated Dream Journals of Christopher Illopoli, sometimes called the only readable occultist. Literate, entertaining, bewildering. This is the 2nd volume. We got Glimmering and another moth lore. Perfect. Passion, Mystique, Smith's Secret, and a hanger-on. These hanger-ons aren't useful whatsoever, in my opinion. We can use them for expeditions and stuff, but I'd rather get the named individuals, because these guys so far have just been edge, but we'll go ahead and convert them. I love the sound effects of this game. Very crunchy. Crunchy. 6 funds. Let's go to the bookstore. Smith's Secret. Pawn with edge aspect. Hey, 3 in a row. I don't think we can do anything with our, we can lock someone in the cupboard, which we don't need to do just yet. Collection of essays, boo. Give me some good. I could sell those for gold. Let's do that. I don't think we're getting any money from it, but it's worth trying. We have 2 of them. Hey, we get gold from it. You can always check here in the after the timer times out and goes to the next stage. And it'll tell you what you're gonna get. So we're gonna lose this, we're gonna get this back, and we're gonna get a gold from it, or a fund. Keep saying gold. It's gold coins. I will always refer to it as gold because I'm a pleb. Oh, we actually got 2 funds from it. Nice. Hey, I'll take that. And we'll go back and buy something else. So we spent 1 fund to get that. We sold it for 2. Profit. That's what we're talking about here. Profit. It's always interesting, too, to see how people organize their boards, because I know everyone does it differently. Oh, hey, I think this is a book that'll teach us. Hey, there we go. Kuhner and Goethe's, not gonna say that? A Greek grammar, an essential weapon for a ferocious struggle with a challenging language. So, when we study this one, it'll teach us Greek, which in turn will allow us to read this book. And that's all without having to rely on one of these individuals to teach us the language, which is perfect. I would have butchered that. I'm not even going to attempt. A passion, that's always good to see. It means we're going to get another follower. Alright, so we unlocked Scholar Greek. No doubt you're conversant with every variety of Greek from the beginning to Byzantium. But it's a good thing you have those reference works. Some books must be translated before they can be read, which is exactly what we got right here. I'll put this down here with our skills. So now what we can do is we can grab this book, put it there. Or actually, sorry, you have to do it opposite. Put the translation skill there. Put the book you want translated. Lock the study door. The work begins. And now we're translating it. And then it'll turn it into a normal book that we can read. Got that affliction. That's fine. We'll pay money. Really? Going too fast for myself. Got another depression thing there, but that's fine. We don't have anything that can trigger it just yet. I say that, but it's going to be, yep, look at that. Season of Ambitions. It's always there, ready to make me eat my own words. Another hanger-on. Wow. They've been stingy with the followers this time around. All right. Well, I'm actually going to switch scenes here. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about ending the stream for the night. Thanks everyone who showed up tonight. Again, this stream was kind of off schedule. If you enjoyed it, please let me know. Thank you, Groundbird Aircat, for the follow earlier. I really greatly appreciate that. Again, I'm trying to build more of a community rather than stream a particular type of games. I'm more for the community aspect of it myself. So if this is something you enjoyed and want to see more of, please let me know. I will most likely post this video to my YouTube page. I'm thinking about either breaking them up into 30-minute increments, or since this one's a little bit shorter, just kind of posting it as maybe a part 1 type thing. But I appreciate everyone who showed up. I'll think about doing this again in the future. You'd like to learn more? Awesome. I will definitely stream this again. Most likely tomorrow, actually. I'll stream it again, and for 2 hours I'll be playing this, and then the next 2 hours of the stream I'll play Dwarf Fortress, which if you've never seen before, it's really fun. It's unique. It's a city management type game, civilization management, in which you manage a bunch of dwarves and try and survive, which I am doing horribly at because it is my first time playing through. But look for me tomorrow around 8 p.m. Central Time. I'll be playing Cultist Simulator first, and from there I'll be playing Dwarf Fortress. I appreciate everyone showing up tonight, and y'all have a wonderful evening.